You got the multiplying and dividing of rational expressions down. So now we're going to add and subtract. It's a little more involved. So think about fractions. Multiplying and dividing fractions, pretty straightforward. Adding and subtracting can be a little bit tricky because of the common denominator situation. So we'll talk about that. Let's start off with just using a monomial in the denominator. So 5 over 3x plus 9 over 4x. And so we're adding with monomials in the denominator. We need to find the lowest common denominator here. So they both have an x, so we definitely would need an x. So our LCM will have an x. And now imagine that it's like 5/3 plus 9/4. So we're dealing with the numbers. So the LCM of 3 and 4 would be 12. So 12x would be our LCM. So 12x and 12x. Okay, and so we would need to multiply this fraction by 4 over 4. And we've got 20 as our new numerator. And this fraction is multiplied by 3 over 3. So 27 is our new numerator. Now we can add them together. So the denominator is 12x, the new numerator 20 plus 27 or 47, and double check to make sure that you can't reduce any more your fraction. So looks good. So let's try a binomial in the denominator with a little subtraction. So here we go, 5x over the quantity x minus y minus 5y over the quantity x minus y. So look, denominators are like, so we can combine them. So 5x minus 5y over x minus y. But we're not done. Look at the numerator. It has a GCF in it. So let's factor out the GCF. And then look what happens. This is so satisfying to me. Cancel. So our difference is just 5. All right, let's do one that has a binomial in the denominator, but the denominators are not like. So we've got the quantity x plus 3 divided by the quantity x minus 7 plus the quantity x minus 2 divided by the quantity x minus 1. All right, so we need to find an LCM here. So our LCM, remember the Winkelum is a grouping symbol, so we can't say, oh, hey, they both have an x. That won't work. It's actually x minus 7 is the value that's being grouped together, and x minus 1 is the value of these two terms being grouped together. So our LCM, we're going to have to use both of them. So x minus 7 times the quantity x minus 1 is your LCM. So here we go, x minus 7 times x minus 1 plus, and then we'll have x minus 7 times x minus 1. Okay, let's look at the left. We need to multiply this fraction by x minus 1 over x minus 1. So our new numerator, x minus 1 times the quantity x plus 3. Take a look at the right. We're going to multiply the right side by x minus 7 over x minus 7. Boy, my handwriting just went downhill. All right, we can multiply our new numerator as x minus 2 times the quantity x minus 7. So now we can turn this into one fraction because the denominators are like. So we've got x minus 7, x minus 1 as our denominator. New numerator combined together, x plus 3 plus x minus 7 times x minus 2. Okay, so let's distribute or FOIL if that helps you. We've got x squared plus 2x minus 3 plus x squared minus 9x plus 14 divided by, I'll do the same thing in the denominator, x squared minus 8x plus 7. And then we also need to combine like terms in the numerator. So we've got 2x squareds. We have negative 7x's. And we have 11 constant. And then x squared minus 8x plus 7. So do we divide out the x squareds and the x's? No, I will shave off your eyebrows in your sleep. Remember, the Winkelum is a grouping symbol, okay? So that means these guys stay grouped. Stayed grouped. The only way we could divide things out is, hey, if there was a GCF up here and a GCF in the denominator, and we could reduce that. But it's got to stay this way. Okay, let's do subtraction. Ready? Let's do the quantity x plus 5 divided by the quantity x plus 6 minus the quantity x minus 2 over the quantity x plus 4. So the LCM, we're going to need both binomials. So x plus 6 and x plus 4. X plus 6, x plus 4. So this left side fraction needs to be multiplied by an x plus 4 over x plus 4. So our new numerator, x plus 4 times the quantity x plus 5. And then the right-hand fraction, we're going to multiply by x plus 6 over x plus 6. So x minus 2 times the quantity x plus 6. Okay, so our denominator, when we combine them, will be x plus 6 times x plus 4. And you guys might be getting to the point where you don't need to do this step in the middle. That's fine. Okay, here we go. X plus 4 times the quantity x plus 5 minus x minus 2 times the quantity x plus 6. Now we're going to do our distributing, okay? We need to be very careful when we get to this second term over here. So this will be x squared plus 9x plus 20 minus. Now here's what I do. I like to put a bracket or a parenthesis when I do the distributing over here. So x squared plus, that'll be 4x minus 12. Okay, and then we've got our denominator, x, actually I can multiply that out too. X squared plus 10x plus 24. Now we need to distribute this negative sign. So x squared plus 9x plus 20 minus x squared minus 4x plus 12 over x squared plus 10x plus 24. All right, look at what happens to the x squareds. They subtract, they're gone. So I've got a 9x and a negative 4x. So I've got a 5x and a 20 and a 12, so a 32 over x squared plus 10x plus 24. Now there's no GCF in the numerator, so I am not going to need to factor anything out. And if you want to put the denominator back in factored form, you can. You can leave it this way. It's up to you. So there you are. Take your time. Go slow at first. You'll pick up the pace, I'm sure, with practice.